everyone, today I'll be reviewing newest Netflix original movie called TikTok Boom, and it is starring Andrew Garfield, Alexander Sib, Vanessa Hudson, and this movie is directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. So when I saw the first trailer for this movie, I was like, oh, this looks like, what does it look like? So the trailer didn't give much about this movie, and I knew nothing about anything about this movie. The only reason I was looking forward to this movie is because of Andrew Garfield, who's a very talented actor. He's so good in a movie called Silence, which was directed by Martin Scorsese. That movie is amazing. You have to see to believe. It's a really good movie. Also, there was another movie called The Picture Race, in which he was also very amazing. So Andrew Garfield, when I heard that he's getting a lot of Oscar for this movie, I was really excited to see this. Many people will check this movie because of Andrew Garfield, because who is reportedly in Spider-Man No Way Home. So he's getting a lot of traction everywhere he goes. Like all his interviews, watching, that is what people are asking him, everywhere he goes, like, are you in that movie or not, so it's, for him, it's a lot, honestly. That being said, he's such a talented actor. Same time, I feel like when I was watching all his interview, he feels a little sad, I guess. People feel so excited to see him in Spider-Man movie. Nobody's actually asking him about this movie, because when you watch this movie, you can see how much hard work he did for this movie, because in this movie, he was singing, acting, some of the dance choreographer, the way this movie was made. He said he took lesson for a year or something, for like singing lesson he took for this movie. So he put a lot of effort, obviously. That being said, all this thing I have said, I don't actually really like that much musical movie. Like I don't actually watch any musical movie. That means I'm really excited to see, however, Steven Spielberg movie, The West Side Story. I'm very excited to see that one, however. That movie looks very stylish, and it's from Steven Spielberg. Of course, you got to check this out. That means I'm not a huge fan of musical. So, I rarely see musical movies. I see many people actually really enjoy this movie. So my the opinion on this movie is going to be a little different, simply because I don't see many musical. So I thought first act for this movie was little hard to get in, honestly, because this movie starts with, again, whenever you are making movie on Netflix, you have to think about everyone who will be watching this movie, because Netflix is such a huge platform. You have to think about everyone. So first act for this movie, the way it was made, I feel like this way this movie was made is only made for people who love a musical movie. People who don't love musical movie, they'll be like, oh, what I'm watching. There's a lot of singing this movie starts with. That being said, the last act, or should I say, toward the second half of this movie, I enjoyed a lot, honestly. This movie has a lot to offer here. There's a lot of emotional scene. Although, do we need all the time singing in this movie? Or that is how it goes, I guess, all the musical movie. There was a lot of singing. Again, I apologize if I'm saying this. I don't actually watch a lot of music. The second half, I really like his relationship with his girlfriend. It was how hard to make it work. Although I really like how much Andrew Garfield, he really put a lot of effort for this movie. But when you watch the beginning and the first act for this movie, it's really hard to feel for this character he was playing in this movie, which is Jonathan Larson, who is a big deal. He was a huge composer. He's there's such a huge hit for him, like The Rent, and so I don't actually know anything about theoretical background. So I'm not going to give his example of his stuff, because it's me saying stuff I don't know about. So I'm just going to say this. The character he was playing in this Jonathan Larson, at the beginning of this movie, you feel nothing for this character, because he just starts singing, saying stuff. I have to write this huge song. I have to do that. And he sounds a little bit pretentious beginning of this movie, but as this movie settled down, you move toward the end, I feel like it was quite charming. Like Andrew Garfield's character, he did became a little charming toward the end of this movie. So my biggest problem is that with this movie is the direction. So this movie is directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's not a big time director or anything. The way he crafted this movie, the first act, because the first act is so important for any movie, because that is how you get into the story you are watching. I think the way he made it, this character, at first it sounds or seem very pretentious. Then I feel like many people will not finish this movie because I don't see this movie was trending on Netflix yet, but it could be because it's a highly anticipated movie from Andrew Garfield. I think I didn't like the direction in this movie at all the choices he made. I don't know. I didn't feel it. So I don't know if Andrew Garfield, although he deserved this Oscar nomination, but can he get this Oscar nomination? I bet he could get it because of the name, and he has nominated before. People will look at his performance, as I was saying, because his character, the way it was done, at the first, he sounds very pretentious. Toward the end, you feel sympathy for him, and how this movie ends, you left it with like, ooh. Overall, it was great watch, honestly. I like the movie together. Still, I didn't like this movie. I don't actually like musical movie, I will say still. But I really like all the scene he had with his girlfriend. They were very important. They were very interesting, I thought. And that's my thought on this movie. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie. And if you enjoyed my review, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other review on Netflix movie. And please take care.